creamy ice cream, crunchy nuts, and gooey caramel.
Rubio and Space Force Vice Chief of
Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Yahweh is the true name of Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father's Son, the Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone who I learned this truth from, and peace and blessings goes to the hopeful members of the elect, my brothers that are out in the highways pushing his word and his truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Isaiah from GMS Los Angeles, and in today's lesson, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. But what you see on the screen is a news article from ABC going to how Trump plans to build the U.S. missile defense system before his term ends. In this lesson, I would like to go into how that will not work. How your plans of building a U.S. missile defense system will fail. And even if you do build one, it will not stop America, which is written in the scriptures as Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is prophesied for this place to be destroyed by fire. And that fire is from the nuclear missiles and the chariot. So you can build as many defense systems against these type of devices as you can, as you please. You can spend as much money, as much time, but it will not stop prophecy. All right, because it's the Lord's will, it's the Lord's purpose, it's the Lord's plan for this place to be destroyed. Okay, let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. I'm gonna skip around this chapter, but Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 3 says, "For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast." And that north is referring to Russia. Sometimes when you go into the scriptures to speak about the north, which it could apply to America, like when you go to Joel, the second chapter in the 20th verse, it speaks of the north country, but that's referring to America. Or as what we're reading now in Jeremiah 53, this, when it speaks of out of the north, is referring to Russia. All right, because Russia is the Lord is raising up the spirit of the Russians to come up against this place, man. All right, so again, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. Her is Babylon. All right, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. And how is America going to be made desolate? By nuclear missiles. All right, by fire. That's how this place is going to be made desolate. Okay, let's skip down to verse 9. All right, Jeremiah 59. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." Right, man. So all these nations like Russia, all right, nations that are allied with Russia, and all nations that have nuclear capability, the Lord is going to raise up against America, man, against Babylon. All right, and it says right here, all right, "The arrows shall be as an mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." Right, if someone has mighty in archery, all right, someone has mighty in shooting arrows, that's on point, very precise. All right, there's nothing you can do. There's really no defense you can get. You can you have that can protect you from a mighty expert man. But this is not referring to actual arrows. This is referring to nuclear missiles. All right. So again, the arrow shall be as a mighty experiment. In Russia, they have greater nuclear technology than America does. All right, saying they have greater technology. Like for example, they have a hypersonic missile, which is basically a device that carries the nuclear warheads, all right, to its destination. And these hypersonic missiles can go undetected off radar, and they can come within minutes, come as a thief in the night. All right, America hasn't even created the technology to have these hypersonic missiles, man, or ways to defend against it. Okay, and here it is. You got Trump talking about building a defense shield, a U.S. missile defense shield, which is not going to work because it's not going to protect you against a mighty experiment. Because, yeah, in ancient warfare, you may have a shield, all right, but a mighty experiment that's very precise on his target, he can get through that shield, man. He could find a way around it, man. All right, probably get you with one arrow to whatever opening he could find. And then when you get hit, it leaves you open for him to hit you again with another arrow, man. But like I said, this is referring to nuclear missiles, man. All right, the missiles that Russia, not just Russia, all right, China, North Korea, Iran, and America's allies, India, Pakistan, all right, all these missiles that the Lord's gonna put the spirit in these different nations to shoot at this place. There's no defense against that, man. Because, again, this is the Lord's purpose. All right? I want to get a quick precept in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, and the first verse. It says, I'll get to the point. 2nd Esdras 16:7. It says, may one turn again the arrow that a shot of a strong archer? Right. If someone that's, like I mentioned, can you stop an arrow, make the arrow go back from someone that shoots, that's very precise and good at archery? No. So these arrows are referring to nuclear missiles. So can America stop Russia? All right. China, North Korea, Pakistan, India, all right, Britain, France, that have these missiles. Can America stop them from hitting America? Stop these missiles from hitting America? No. All right. So again, may one turn again the arrow that a shot of a strong archer, and the one, I know I'm keep repeating myself, but the one that has top-notch missiles is in Russia. All right. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? All right. So ultimately is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's purpose, is his will for this place to be destroyed. All right. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Right. And that fire is the nuclear missiles. And once those missiles are shut off and hits his destination, there's nothing that no one could do to stop the missiles from coming and from hitting his target. Right? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? All right, it says, the earth quaketh in the foundations thereof, the sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, before the glory of his power. Right, because the destruction is going to be so great, it's going to cause a great earthquake. The foundations of the earth is going to move. Don't be surprised if islands move out of their place, like the scripture says. All right. It says, verse 19, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and he shall not miss when they begin to be shot in the ends of the world. Now, can he shoot an arrow from America to Russia, or Russia to America, or China to America? No. This is how you know it's not referring to an actual arrow. This is symbolic for a nuclear missile, because with these the nuclear missiles, they're able to shoot through ICBMs or hypersonic missiles, or through submarines, they can even drop them on a plane, from a plane. But These missiles are able to be shot from one continent to the other within 20 to 30 minutes. Okay? And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the one I gave Esau this knowledge, this great technology to able to make these weapons to take down his kingdom. Esau, like Abraham said, I become a destroyer of worlds. And that world that world he's referring to is his world. I become a destroyer of my world. All right, because eventually down the line, they're gonna, upgrade this technology. They're gonna find ways to create something better than an atomic bomb, which we have. You have the nuclear bomb. All right. So let's read a little. I'm gonna get that. Let me see. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. It says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord. All right, the plans, different plans that the Lord already has set, right? That he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right, we know the least of the flock being the land of Israel, the people of the people that claim to be God's people, the Israelis, the Amalekites. That's the least of the flock. All right. It's going to draw America out. And both of their habitation, both of their lands are going to be destroyed. All right. And this is the purpose that the Lord has set for this place. So Donald Trump trying to build nuclear defense systems and it's not going to work. All right. Let's read it. It says, President Donald Trump unveiled at the White House Tuesday afternoon his plans to build a massive missile shield system to protect the United States against threats from North Korea and elsewhere. Now, they picture like North Korea, but North Korea, yeah, they have nuclear missiles. And when nuclear war is made, they're definitely going to shoot their missiles. They're going to be part of the nations that are going to shoot their missiles. But it's not North Korea that you have to worry about. It's Russia. All right, because it's prophesied for Russia to come against this place and shoot missiles at this place. All right. It says the project echoes President Ronald Reagan failed Star Wars program, which, when you go into it, Ronald Reagan during his presidency tried to make a Star Wars program to protect America from missiles. All right. It says, and experts say it could cost anywhere from tens of billions to hundreds of billions of dollars, depending upon how it's set up. 3 U.S. officials confirmed the plans ahead of the announcement. Trump was joined by Defense Secretary Pete and Jen Michael, the Pentagon's Vice Chief of Space Operations. Michael is being asked to lead the Golden Dome project, one of the officials said, because we know that Space Force, we know why they really created, but they also monitor and protect, America from missiles and all that. All right. It says this design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. And the thing about it is we may not even reach to the end of your term. Okay. Because that's how swift and fast that the Lord is going to destroy this place, man. Things are going to be happening so fast. Once Esau rolls in this chip, things are going to be moving so fast, man. All right, so much things are going to be happening. Donald Trump, you're not even thinking about that, the defense system, man. Because so much things are going to be happening all at once. All right. It says Trump said in announcing the plan, so we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles, even if they are launched from other sides of the world, and even if they are launched from space. And that's wild because we just read in the scriptures from the ends of the world. So Donald Trump is trying to create a defense system against that, against missiles that will be able to shot from one continent to the other, which we know it's not going to work. Even if they do make this type of system, it's going to fail because this is not of their doing. They can't stop America from being destroyed, man. They can't stop the Lord's work. This is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's doing for America to be destroyed. This is his purpose, okay? So you can try, but you're going to fail, all right? Trump begins calling for a U.S. missile defense shield similar to Israel's Iron Dome after watching Israel deflect missiles and drones amid Iran's attack in 2024, which Israel's Iron Dome is going to fail too, because we read in Jeremiah 15:45 how both of their lands are going to be desolate, the land of America and the land of Israel. So all their missile defense systems are going to fail, man. Okay? It says, or skip down, it says, but Trump talks of building the greatest dome of them all was met with cheers from crowds at his rallies, so much that Republicans included the construction of a U.S. missile shield in his party platform ahead of 2024 elections. In January, Trump signed an executive order calling the Hegseth to make it happen. The threat of attack by ballistic and hypersonic and cruise missiles and other advanced aerial attacks remains the most catastrophic threat facing the United States, Trump wrote in the January 27th order, which, right, the threat of attack by ballistic, ICBMs, hypersonic, cruise missiles, because everything's going to be shot off here, man. All nations that bend the bow shoot at her. Spare no arrows. That's what the scripture says. So no arrows is going to be spared. It's a nuclear war. Once a nuclear war happens, you might as well shoot everything that you got, because it's a war that no one can win, because it's a very devastating war on both sides. Okay? Among question is, would Trump's Golden Dome be designed to protect every inch of U.S. territory, or would the focus be put on major cities? Depending on scale, the initiative could take years to develop and build, even with advances in technology such as remote sensing, image processing, and uncrewed aerial systems, according to congregational researchers. All right, so that's it for the article. You could, if I remember, I'll post the link in the description. But this is not gonna work. The Lord could destroy this place within this year, this summer, or the beginning of next year. All right, Esau has plans, but your plans are not gonna come to pass. But the only plans that's going to come to pass is the plans of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And his plan is for this place to be destroyed. All right. Let's get the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. And I'll start at the first verse. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Right. So we are blowing the trumpet in Zion, telling our people to wake up and get their mind right, all right, before the day of the Lord come, because it is nigh. It is nigh at hand. It is very near, okay? A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. But a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds. What's going to cause that? The nuclear war, nuclear missiles. Because once they shut off, what do they create? They create what the prophet Isaiah saw and what the prophet Apostle John saw. They like it onto scrolls rolled together in heaven, which is the mushroom clouds, which is going to block out the sun, the moon, the stars. It's going to be dark. All right, create darkness, what you call nuclear winter. All right, that day is coming. Okay, this is a great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like. Right, there has never been a nuclear war. All right, you had 1945, at the end of World War II, an atomic bomb, but that was it. And little bombs here and there throughout the years. The only major nuclear thing you had was an atomic bomb, but it wasn't a war. All right, you just had America that flew over Japan, all right, and dropped 2 bombs on them, all right, which were devastating in itself. But that was just atomic. Just imagine nuclear. All right, so this nuclear war has never been the like. This is why Isaiah, when you go Isaiah 9:5, he likened it onto what this shall be, or burning and fuel of fire, nuclear war. This is gonna be the war to end all wars, man. All right, it says, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it. Right, because once the nuclear war, once the Lord destroys this place, that's it. It's prophesied in the scriptures how the Lord's gonna gather all these weapons of these nations, and we're gonna burn them. All right, now these nations are turning their spears and their pruning hooks into weapons, into swords. But the time has come where they're gonna turn their swords into pruning hooks and tools to build up our kingdom. All right, because there's gonna be no more war. Because after this, it's gonna be the end of Esau's world and the beginning of ours, where nations not gonna learn war anymore. All right, they're gonna be in complete slavery. The world's gonna be at peace. All right. It says, even to the years of many generations, a fire devoured before them, and that's the warheads, the nuclear missiles. All right, once they hit their destination, they explode and create a big explosion that could wipe out whole cities, whole states. All right, and behind them a flame burneth. That's your hypersonic or ICBM, international continent ballistic missiles. All right, or your hypersonic missiles, basically the device that carries the warheads to its destination. Okay. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, right? Because before it hits this destination, it's going to hit where? A lot of these missiles are going to hit America. And America, you can look throughout America is beautiful, man. Like Oregon. I always wanted to take a trip up Oregon and go hiking up there and see the different, different forests and mountains and all that. It's beautiful. Got the Grand Canyon. All right, it's very, you got what's that place called? It's close to the Y, a big national park. Not Yosemite. Yellowstone. You got America's beautiful, but this place is gonna be a desert. This place once Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gets done with this place, it's gonna be unrecognizable, literally. All right. So again, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Right, because once they hit the destination, they're going to make America look like a desolate wilderness, like a desert, man. All right, like a place that you do not want to travel through, which once America is destroyed, you're not gonna be able to. No one's gonna travel through here, man. No one's gonna build a tent through here. No one's gonna live here. Like the scripture says, only desert creatures, man. And that's after the fire finally quenches, after generations of burning. Okay. It says, and nothing shall escape them. Okay. So once these missiles are shut off, they're gonna hit its destination, man. There's no defense system that you could that America can make that could protect America from its destiny, which is destruction, nuclear destruction. Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Because when missiles are shut off, they go up out of space and they come down to its destination, man. Fast like lightning, man. John saw like stars falling from heaven. Okay. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Right. And 2 Peter refers to a great noise. As soon as the missile shut off, it's a great noise. And as soon as it come down, it's going to be a great noise. And when it detonates, it's going to be a great noise. All right? It says, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All the face shall gather blackness. Just read that. NLT says, fear grips all the people. Every face grows pale with terror, because people here that are left in America, when they find out America is about to be hit with missiles and they only got so to find shelter and hide, people are gonna be running like chicken without their heads, or cockroaches when you turn the lights on, man. They're gonna be scrambling. They're gonna be in fear. You know, their hearts is going to fail. People are going to have heart attacks. People are going to faint and then wake up and think it's a dream, but find out it's not, man. People are be shitting their pants. People are be losing. People are be getting on their knees praying to God to do something to save them. But the Lord's not going to hear them. The only one that the Lord's going to deliver from this destruction is the elect. All right? All right, and best believe you're gonna have people that's gonna turn literally pale, goosebumps, hair standing up on their skin, shaking out of fear, not knowing what to do, panicking, panicky, man. All right. It says they shall run like mighty men; they shall climb the wall like the men of war. Because when, like I said earlier, when missiles are shut off, they go up out of the earth and into outer space, and they come down to its destination. All right, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like the men of war. They shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break the ranks. Right, like you watch a Russian military parade or any military parade that's not America. All right, these soldiers have to march in formation. From the soldiers to the tanks, the helicopters, to the jets, they're all in formation. They can't break the ranks. If they break the ranks, that fucks it up for the whole. That fucks up the whole parade. The whole parade is fucked up if one soldier's out of place. Well, guess what? When the missiles are shut off, they're not gonna break the ranks. All right, they're gonna hit they're gonna have a destination. If 3 missiles are destined to Montana or Los Angeles, all right? Or, I just said, Los Angeles, they're going to go to Los Angeles, all right? They're not going to end up in the ocean. They're not going to accidentally end up in Canada. They're not going to accidentally end up in Mexico. They're going to end up where Yahweh Bashim Yahshua wants it to end up. And there's going to be so much missiles. You're going to have missiles on the West Coast, East Coast, the South, the North, Southwest, and all these missiles are going to create one big wave of fire. It's going to literally burn America up, which is really the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because the Lord's going to come out of this place. His spirit is going to be in that fire, and he's going to destroy America, man. Burn this place up. And there's nothing that America can do. There's nothing that Donald Trump can do, man. All right, they should not break their ranks. They shall march everyone his way. So wherever the missiles are destined to hit, they're going to hit. Okay? It says, neither shall one thrust another. Right? They're not going to accidentally hit each other. Because there is a nuclear war. It's going to be a lot. There's going to be all these nations shooting missiles at each other. But even that, they're not going to hit each other accidentally. Because the Lord is going to control each and every one of these missiles, man. This is why America, there's no defense system that can work. I forgot what movie I saw. I didn't see it, but it was like I saw like the trailer of it on Netflix. I forgot the name. It was basically how a terrorist wanted to shoot missiles on America. So before they shoot missiles on America, they attack the only radar. They have America has in the middle of the ocean a radar system that that detects and deflects any outside threat of missiles being shot at America. So in the movie, you had terrorists that went to take control of that, so they could shoot missiles on America without, catch them as a thief in the night. But there's no need for that. In reality, the Lord could just shut off all your defense systems, man. Okay, that they not work. Or what nations do in war, all right? A nation would shoot missiles at your defense systems, then shoot their nuclear missiles, man. That's what nations do. Don't be surprised if that happens. But we know that whatever happens is that your systems, America's air defense system, is not going to work. You're going to be too occupied with Yahweh Shai and the angels at that time. You got Space Force. They're going to be too occupied with the chariots to be focusing on missiles being shot off, because all this is going to happen simultaneously. That's why it's going to be a lot, man. There's going to be a lot for you people to have to deal with. Okay? It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. All right? You're not going to get shot down. Okay? They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the window like a thief, right? Like a thief. And having not only does Russia and China and Korea, Iran have hypersonic missiles that can go undetected by radar and come within 20 minutes. All right. You have Russia that have nuclear submarines that they could post up on the coast of Florida. All right, and shoot missiles from submarines. With submarines, their skills to go undetected by water. Okay. So it's gonna come out as a thief, man. It's gonna be a lot, man. You might not even hear the nuclear sirens for the first thousands of missiles gonna be shut off here, man. Okay. It says, the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Right, the earth is gonna quake. The whole earth is gonna quake. This is why the elect must be beamed up and bodies change and go into the outer space to be hid, to be delivered from this, man. Because even though you may not be on the shores of America or the land of Israel, all right, you may be in South America. You're gonna feel that quake, and you might die. You may have thousands of people that are gonna die getting crushed to death by buildings that fall, man. Because this is probably gonna be the biggest earthquake recorded to man. All right. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, and for his camp is very great. Right, his army. All right, we know that the Lord is a man of war, right? The Lord has an army. He has his Marines, his special forces, which are us. He has his Navy, which is Leviathan, the chariots. And he also has his Air Force, which is the chariots and different storms like hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, but as well as the missiles, man, are part of his armory. All right. So the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong, that executeth his word. His word, right? That executeth his word. And what is the word of the Lord? For this place to be destroyed. So best believe the Lord is going to execute that, man. Make sure that it happens. All right. For the day of the Lord is great, very terrible, and who can abide? Right? Who can abide it? This is why we have to be delivered from the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and be beamed up into the chambers to be hid from his indignation, because we cannot abide in that day. We cannot remain. We cannot survive. When the Lord releases his wrath, which he's going to release his wrath through the missiles, through that fire, if you're on the shores of America, man, there's no way for you to survive it, man. You cannot outrun. You could be literally 2 miles you could be literally 300 feet from the border of Mexico on American soil. Your ass ain't making it, man. That's how devastating it's going to be. That's how bad it's going to be. The only way out of it is you have to go up. All right? That's the only way out, is up. All right, so with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Till next time, I want to say Shalom.